Good morning, girls. This is Miss Anam Abdul Qadir here with your second lecture of Social Studies. We are starting with Chapter 1, United Nations. This work has to be done in your civics copy. I will share with you two presentations on this chapter and two documents as well. In the documents, you will find the written work which you have to do in your civics copy. Make sure your civics copy is an interleaf copy, and the activities which are given to you in that documents, you will do that activities in your on your blank interleaf page, and one activity has to be done on one page. Second activity you will do on another interleaf page, and third vice versa. Okay, you will go on. Now I'm starting with the lecture United Nations. Okay, this is UNO, United Nations Organizations, or we simply say them UN also for United Nations. Now, before we move on to the United Nations, it is very necessary to discuss about the war, because United Nations came into being, or United Nations was formed due to this war only. Okay, so what is war? War is a situation or a period of fighting between countries or groups of people. When people fight and group or countries fight, that is known as war. War could be civil also within the countries, and war could be between the countries also. A war generally involves the use of weapon, military organization, and soldiers. So you will have weapons also, you will have military organization also, and soldiers also in war. War is a situation in which a nation enforces its rights by using force. When you do something forcefully, then that is called a war. A war is often defined as armed conflict within, between, or among states or countries. Armed conflict means when there is a conflict, there is violence and forces are involved, that is also known as war. Okay, then there are two famous war in the history of the world. What are those? Those are World War One and World War Two. We all are familiar with these war names, though we do not know the details about these wars, but yes, we know that these two wars were the deadly wars, and many millions of people were killed in this war. And after this it was decided that something has to be done to stop this war, because life, human, are very important. Okay, so famous wars of history. First World War. It was started in 1914 and ended in 1917. So 3 years war. It was fought between two groups, Allies and Central Power. Allies had Britain, France, USA, and Russia, while Central Power had Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Turkey. In World War I, Allies won this war. More than 37 million people were killed. After this, people of different countries who won this war also and who were not involved, they decided that something has to be done to stop the war in future. So they decided to form League of Nations. League of Nation was formed just after World War One, and the objective of formation of League of Formation was to stop any war in future, because many humans were killed, and there was destruction, economy of the countries, there was recession in the economies of the country, and everything was destroyed. When League of Nations was formed, it aim was to stop the war, but however what happened that it failed to stop the war, second war in future. And Second World War when happened, uh, Second World War when happened, League of Nations came to an end. Second World War started in 1939 and ended in 1945. It was fought between two groups. Again, it was between the two groups, Allied and Axis. In Allied, there were Britain, China, USA, Russia, and France. And Axis, there was Germany, Italy, Japan, and Turkey. we move on to the third point, we know that who won this war, because there was a nuclear attack in this war, which was on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And it's obvious that Axis lose this war and Allied won this war after the nuclear attack on Japan. This brought a great disaster. Nuclear bomb, the atomic attack brought a great disaster in Japan. We know that today also the babies who are born, some are deaf, some do not have their hands, some do not have their legs. Still we can see the side effects in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. More than 53 million people were killed. This time there were more people killed as compared to First World War. And therefore, after this, UNO came into being. Yes, we will read in detail how it was formed and who formed it. But first, we should learn what is peace and prosperity. We all know what is peace. Peace is a stress-free state of security and calmness that comes when there is no fighting or war. Everything coexisting is in perfect harmony and freedom. There is harmony, there is unity, there is freedom. Everyone has a right to speak. There are conflicts, but we solve the conflicts through negotiations, and we do not fight. We do not argue. We do not go on to the violence. Peace is the desire of every human being. People like to have peace and prosperity in life. Peace is the hope of every nation. It gives happy and harmless life. Peace is the absence of physical and structural violence. This was Jobin who said this. All religions, if you see, they have taught about peace, and they say do not do war. If we talk about Islam is the religion of peace. If we talk about Hinduism, they say God is everywhere and we should not do violence. Buddhism is totally against of violence. They do not even want to kill an insect, because for them violence brings disaster. People should follow golden principles of their religion to establish peace in the world. We should eliminate the cause of war, that are fear, greed and hypocrisy. We know greed, lalach, hypocrisy, munafiqat. We should resolve the conflicts through discussion and understanding others' point. Okay, now making of the UNO. In the picture you can see two of the person move from left to right, and in the center the person who is sitting is American President F.D. Roosevelt. He met the British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. Both of them you can see, and the third person is unknown. They both decided that in the future there should be no war. United Nations came into being on 10th October 1945, just after the Second World War ended in 1945. United Nations came into being. Many countries joined UNO afterwards. Now it has 196 member countries. Yes, here it is written 193, but 3 more countries have been added, and altogether there is 196 member countries. So yes, I have made this mistake. Please correct it. That is 196 member countries. Okay, here in the picture you can see the headquarters of UNO. We have headquarters of UNO at 2 places. One is in Europe and other one is in America, New York. So the first 2 pictures you can see of New York, America, and the second 2 picture you can see in Geneva, Europe, where all the country flags are there. So 196 member, 196 flags will be there. You have to read page 1 and 2 from your social studies book, because the activities and the question and answers which I have given, that you will find from the book and from the presentation. So please, if you do not find any answer, read these pages and listen to the presentation carefully. Thank you.